Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs. I'm Richard Holdridge. This is Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We're in week 2 of going around all the schools in the Chattahoochee Valley. And today's stop is a place that's very special to me because this is where I got my start in broadcasting. I'm here with the athletic director of Russell County, Coach Larry Knox. Coach, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to be part of Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs.
Well, Richard, I want to thank you for coming out to Russell County. We're always proud to spotlight our student athletes and our athletic programs, and any chance we get to tell our story, we welcome them.
Well, this is a very special place. I mean, it's near and dear to my heart. It's a very unique place because it's about 30 minutes outside of the city limits of Columbus, Phoenix City. It's got a special small town feel to it, but it's one of those places where I've been to sporting events here, basketball, baseball, football. I mean, it's an event, and Russell County has got a lot of rivals, and they've got a lot of great athletes that has come to this school. But Coach, before we get into the sports, talk a little bit about your background. Where did you get your start coaching, and how long you've been the athletic director here at Russell County? And what are some of the things that you've accomplished since you've been AD here at Russell County?
Well, I started in the education profession back in 2008. After an 18-year career in the local company, I decided to make a career change and get into education. So 2009, I started coaching football and baseball at a local high school here in town. And after 14 years of doing that, in 2022, the athletic director position came open here at Russell County, and I applied for it. And my first official day was July 1 of 2022. I've coached football and baseball on the high school level, the middle school level. So just excited to be here at Russell County.
And I do remember meeting you for the first time in 2022. I was already on board as the public address announcer. In fact, it was 3 years ago. Coach Dylan Briggs had a phone conversation with me, offered me the public announcing job for football. It was just a great atmosphere. That atmosphere going to the county to see Russell County play football, they redid the field, redid the turf, and I felt like Coach Dylan Briggs was building something very special here, and it really wasn't a fit. And Russell County, one thing about Russell County is they have passionate fans. They have support from the administration. When you think Dr. Brenda Coley at the Russell County Superintendent School Board and the principal here at Russell County, Miss Tawny King, I mean, they have been supportive of athletics. But what does that mean to have that relationship with Principal King and Dr. Coley taking on the AD position here that you've had for about 2 years now?
Well, it started about 3 years ago with Dr. Coley's vision to upgrade the athletic facilities here at Russell County, high school, middle school. And then Miss King has, she's going into her 4th year, I believe. So all of that has started around the same time. Coach Gray's coming here. A lot of our other coaches are going into their 3rd year, 4th year. So all of our athletic facilities 3 years ago, 4 years ago has been completely redone. The football stadium completely redone. Our high school and middle school gyms have been completely redone. We built a brand new baseball, softball complex during that time. So game day facility for all of our sports has really risen from the atmosphere for everyone. And now Dr. Coley, Ms. King, school board, we are about to put out for bid for a new 35,000 square foot indoor athletic facility.
Yes.
So that has really, that has even brought even more excitement here to Russell County. And I'm tickled to death, proud to be a part of that process, a small piece. It's been great working with Dr. Parker at the middle school, Ms. King here at the high school, and Dr. Coley and all the stakeholders, our coaches, board members, and putting that plan together. Mr. Battle, our director of operations, our director of maintenance, he plays a huge role in our facility. And everybody wants to see a new Russell County in the athletic world, and all of the new additions and what's about to be built is going to help us get to that level.
Well, I felt that there was something different in the atmosphere 3 years ago when Russell County was upgrading the football field, the basketball gymnasium, and just new gear. I know that this is a great setup, by the way. It kind of feels like we're at a signing day. But I do believe in what Russell County is doing, and you have done a fantastic job as the athletic director. In your 2 years as AD, what has been some of the challenges, and what are some of the relationships you built up, not only with the administration, but with some of the coaches that you hired?
Well, the first year was basically observation. Well, I'm not trying to come in and reinvent the wheel. A lot of good things were going on here at Russell County. Year 2, working with administration, Dr. Holdridge, we made some changes in the coaching world. Not major changes, just a little subtle. We brought some folks in. We brought in a lot of folks in the last year that are former high school students here at Russell County that graduated from Russell County. And with all the additions that we've done, the one thing that nobody can say is we have forgot somebody. We have tried our best to take care of every athletic program from the smallest to the largest over these last 3 years, and it's just been tremendous.
Well, we'll definitely get into those athletic programs because I think that Russell County, basically where they are in the AHSAA at the 6A level, they have got just a great opportunity just to kick in the door, especially with the success that we've seen from the athletic programs. Just a rich tradition and history here in the Phoenix City area, Laconia, outer limits of Phoenix City, and here in the community of Seal, Alabama, and Russell County has definitely been known. But you look at the support from the boosters, because there are a lot of support for sponsorship, for people in the community that support Russell County athletics. So what is your message to those boosters and those sponsors that have really put a lot of their hard work and effort just to help build something special here at the county?
Well, I know that they have seen an improvement on their game day numbers and things of that nature. So we appreciate all of our sponsors. We support our sponsors. The biggest thing that we've had to overcome is like practice. Everybody lives 20, 25 minutes away from Russell County. And we've got to stop using that as a crutch.
Right.
If you want to play sports at Russell County, then you got to be here. You got to show up. Because in order for us to make the advantages on the game days that we want to make, it starts in practice. And our sponsors being visible, there's not a facility that we don't have that you don't see just a ton of sponsor names that have invested in our student athletes. Because, they want to see us do well. They want to see us be successful. And they filled the gap from a financial standpoint for us to take the next step.
Coach, going forward, what is your vision, future, that you would like to see Russell County athletics in a good place? Well, what are some things that you want to see for the future of Russell County athletics?
Well, one thing that Ms. Keene and I met with each other, one thing that we want to see is we want to see all of our teams in Nike uniform. We're a Nike school, so we want to make sure that every one of our teams are, showing that, because it means something to the kids. When they're wearing an off-brand and they go play another school, and they're Nike from head to toe. Richard, I mean, there's 6 schools within a 15-mile radius, right, of Russell County. So we're all competing for student athletes. Try to, pick the boys we have here. Hopefully we're doing good things and others see it and they want to come be a part of our program. So image is big for us this year. We're going to see a big production increase in a lot of our sports this year. And we're excited about it. We've got some new coaches, assistant coaches. We've got new band director. Ms. King hired a teacher at the end of the school year that's got 16 years volleyball experience. Wow. So now we've got an assistant coach that walks in to go along with our head coach that we had today that can help her bring the program. And that's the thing we're looking for. We're looking for coaches that have experience, that they can come in and help build our practice so that practice becomes better gamed.
All right, you are watching Sitting with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs. We are here at Russell County with Athletic Director, Coach Larry Knox. Coach, before we get into the teams, what we're going to do is we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll break down all the teams, starting with the teams in fall, working all the way up to the spring, as this is presented by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, and we will be right back.
Are you ready to save big on a new GMC?
At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika, you can own one of the best-selling vehicles in the USA. The GMC Sierra pickup is discounted up to $14,500 off. The roomy and comfortable GMC Terrains are up to $8,250 off. And the GMC Acadias with 3 spacious rows and seating for 7, discounted up to $8,000 off. At Glenn Smith GMC in Opelika,
Get ready to smile.
And welcome back to Sitting Down with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs. We are here at Russell County High School, a place that I got my start in broadcasting. I'm excited talking with the Athletic Director, Coach Larry Knox. We talked about your background and how you got to become the AD here at the county. But elaborate a little bit on some of those facilities that you were talking about, because there's going to be some big projects coming here at the county. And I know we were talking during break about some of the features for this new athletic facility. Just elaborate a little bit on that.
Well, our school board approved a month or so ago a new athletic facility for Russell County High School. Inside that facility will become our volleyball practice and game day facility. It will also become our wrestling practice and game day facility. The benefit of that is we currently only have one gym in our wrestling program. We have boys and girls competing for the gym spot, right, with basketball. So it limits things that both programs can do. Also in that building will be a cheerleading dance room. They'll have their own dedicated room with their mats down. So now they can have a full practice every day, which gets them ready for their regionals and states, where right now they practice in our cafeteria on only 4 of their 9 mats. So this is going to really improve their practice day going forward. Inside the building, the new gym, we will be able to practice 2 teams going left to right in that building at the same time during our 4th block athletic PE turn. And then we can shift gears after school. We can have our wrestling program on one side of the floor and basketball on the other side of the floor with a curtain down in between them. And now wrestling will have 2 mats plus a wrestling room, and that makes their quality of practice better. Currently, we've got one gym with 5 basketball teams. It's just hard to get quality practice time with that. And our coaches have done a great job with it. They hadn't let it be an excuse. So going forward, we'll have 3 floors that we can practice on. Also in this building, a new weight room. We currently only have 1. So now all of our athletic teams will have dedicated weightlifting times that they can go in and lift weights. We're going to have a new football locker room, football showers. They're going to start practicing in the mornings. Coaches' offices, 2 classrooms will be in this building, a new equipment room, a new athletic training room. That will be for all of our athletic programs. It's something that is needed here at Russell County and will be used a lot once it is built.
Well, I'm excited, Coach. Anytime that I could talk up Russell County because they gave me my start in broadcasting, I'm just privileged that we can actually talk about what Russell County is doing. And it's really the best kept secret. If you don't know, I mean, this is just a great school that has top-notch facilities. But we are going to go ahead and get into the sports.
Okay.
And it starts with football. Football sets the tone for the upcoming school year. Your head coach, Dylan Briggs, entering his 4th season as the Russell County football coach. And he hired me as the public address announcer. I tell you what, Coach, that first season when they went 6-4, I felt like Coach Briggs was building something special. And Russell County has sent players to the next level, like Drew Pickett. He was a 3-star running back, according to Rivals.com. The football team looks good. They got a tough schedule. You know, in 6A, I mean, you have teams like Harvard, Montgomery, which is now in 7A. You've got Wetumpka, you got Stanhope, Elmore, Pike County, Pike Road. But just talk about like the progression that Coach Briggs has made entering his 4th season. I know I had a transition at quarterback and several of the key players that have graduated, but just talk about just the state of the football program and what Coach Briggs is building with his staff going into this upcoming season.
Well, the beauty of one of the statements that you said was Coach Briggs going into his 4th year. Well, so there's stability in our football program. Right. Coach Briggs has surrounded himself with very good assistant coaches, some that have been with him for several years, some that went to school here, some that he's met through the coaching world. So we are very excited about Coach Briggs and his entire staff. And then the beauty is they're all his players now, right through 12th grade. When he first got here, his first year, they were his players and the former coach. So now we've eliminated all of that. And now they all understand his direction, where he's wanting this program to go. They're bought in. You go out and watch them practice. This summer, they're all moving, doing something. Weight room, the weight room has improved dramatically since Coach Briggs and his staff got here. And I really think you're going to see a different Russell County football team this year than you've seen in the past.
I tell you what, if you've not been to a Russell County football game, it is just an incredible experience. That game day atmosphere, the light show, the playing of the band with the Warrior chant. I mean, what Coach Briggs has built, and I know he's lost some assistants. I mean, he had Coach Albert that go to Pell City. Coach Kendall Lacey has gone to Wetumpka. But his assistants really are buying into what he is selling, and he has really done a great job developing players. So we talked about players like Drew Pickett, who was a 3-star running back. He's now playing at Wake Forest. We've had players in the NFL that played at Russell County. But I do want to talk about just going into this upcoming season. I thought that Bryson Riggins just took the season by storm. 25 touchdowns last year. He really caught everybody's eye. I think that he's going to have a great season this year. I know that Russell County has got some new opponents in their reclassification. Carver Montgomery is no longer there. But Percy Julian, former Robert E. Lee, that used to be in the same region with Russell County, is back in the region. And also Rehoboth. Right? I mean, so Rehoboth is making that transition up to 6A. But the thing about Russell County, last season, they could have easily been 2-0. They were 0-2. They lost on a walk-off field goal by Harris County. And we were at that game for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. lost to Stanhope Elmore here, but it was on the last second play. And then that Wetumpka game, it was a high-scoring game. Russell County started to figure things out, especially with their quarterback, got wins over Park Crossing in Greenville. But what is it going to take to get Russell County to a level that they haven't seen in a very long time? And I do believe that they are going to get there because Coach Griggs is building something special. But what are some of the breaks that Russell County will need to get in game when it comes to the start of the season?
Well, the biggest thing we have to teach all of our student athletes for all of our sports is the how to win. Right. You know, that's important. When you're in a game that you can win, how do you close that out? And Coach Griggs and his staff have done an excellent job in that. There's summer program that they're running right now. They've had a tremendous 7-on-7 camp this June. You know, you mentioned Bryson Riggins, and I think the first 7-on-7 that they went to, he threw 22 touchdowns. Wow. In 7 games. So he has, you know, not fallen off any. And Coach Griggs, he's just got everybody focused at what's at hand. You know, what's the potential for Russell County High School this coming season. You know, everybody wants a winning season. Nobody more than Coach Griggs and his coaching staff. And I think he has done a great job in building that culture so that we can now experience that winning season that everybody's looking for.
Absolutely. And Georgia Alabama Sports Live will be there at several Russell County games. I'm actually looking at the schedule. I'm looking at that game against Eufaula, a former region opponent. I think that is going to be a great game. You mentioned going to Beauregard and talking about playing Valley again. That is always a rivalry. I know that Coach Griggs, by the way, we will have on the Russell County Coaches Show, which will air tomorrow night here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I'm looking forward to that interview as we're going to elaborate a little bit more on the football season. Coach, but we do have other sports in the fall, and I do want to start with cheerleading because, you know, they do set the tone at the games. The cheerleading really gets the crowd fired up. I know that when I was PA announcing for the basketball team, the cheerleaders were right there in the stands right next to me, and I knew that they would go out and they would do their routine, and it would really fire up the crowd at the basketball games. But who is the cheerleading coach, and what are some of the accomplishments that the cheerleading team has done last season going into this season?
Well, Coach Valerie is our head cheerleading coach, and she's going into her 3rd season. When she took over, we had 12 cheerleaders, and she came to us and asked, could she do another tryout? And she got the program up to 20 student athletes. And then this past season, they went to the regionals, coming 2nd in their category, and qualified for the Alabama High School State for the first time in school district. And also we had a cheerleader this year that signed a scholarship to AUM for this fall to become a cheerleader. So she has really taken over our cheerleading program and really brought it to the next level. And we're just excited. That's why her success, her program's success, is the reason why there's a cheerleading room in the new building that's being built. You know, when you start having success, people notice and they want to do something for you, and that's how that room came about.
And another sport that is really growing in the fall is flag football. And talk about the flag football team. I know just getting a program started, it may be a couple of years old. Who's the flag football coach? And what typically is the outlook of flag football in far as regional games and getting ready to play at the AHSAA level?
So this is our 4th season for flag football. Coach Davis is entering his 2nd year as a head coach. So there's some stability there with him returning. In the past, it was a different coach the first 2 years. So Alabama High School has restructured flag football. This year we're in the region with Central, Auburn, Opelika, Robert E. Lee, us, Valley. And so they're going to do like softball does, the area tournament right at the end. And then regular season will be for the seeding. And then at the end of the regular season, area tournament, and then the top 2 from every area will move to the regionals in the following week. So flag football has really grown. We're going to have a JV team this year.
Nice.
That will play 4 to 6 games, but it gets our younger student athletes on the field in a game environment, so you can see the growth that they have. So we're excited with what Coach Davis is doing, and look for that program to continue to grow.
Also in the fall, you also have volleyball with the new indoor practice facility. The volleyball team will have an opportunity to get some more practices in. Who is the volleyball coach? What did the team do last season? And what are some of the things looking forward to this upcoming season?
So Coach Spees is our volleyball head coach, and she is entering her 3rd year as the head coach. They come in 3rd in the area last year. So their win totals was, I can't remember the exact number, but it was more than the year before. So again, stability in the program. And that's with a lot of our trainers. A lot of our coaches are reaching their third or more year. And so it's, just stability. And that's something that we've needed here at Russell County for a long time, is not a different coach for our smaller sports every single year. And Coach Spees now, Coach Spees has had them out there all summer. They took the last week of May off, and they have been at it since the first week of June. And she does a great job. And with the addition of the teacher that Ms. Keene hired with the volleyball experience, that's even going to make our program a lot better. And it gives her the freedom to work on specifics while the assistant is working on different things over on the other court. So when we get the new building built, she'll be able to hold tournaments and try matches. And, when you start doing things like that, you can pretty much fund your program just by playing events here at school.
And I can't wait. Volleyball action will start before football season. I know right when school starts, you can go see a volleyball match. Several other sports that don't get a whole lot of recognition. I do want to talk about esports, who the coach is, and very unique. You also have a fishing team. You had a fishing team before. Tyrell Bennett was the coach. I've gotten to know Tyrell, and he's a great guy. He actually reached out to me and wanted to talk about promoting the fishing team at Russell County, and I gave him a platform to talk about that. I think it's great. You go to Lake Fall, and then you're in bass fishing tournaments, and I think it's great that people who want to fish, even if they want to fish professionally, have the opportunity to do here at Russell County, or esports as well. I mean, very unique sports. Just elaborate a little bit on who the coach is for esports, and then talk about some of the things that the fishing team has done under Coach Bennett.
Well, for the fishing team, Coach Bennett has grown that program. The problem with it's called a bass club in Alabama, but you got to have a boat,
right?
And then you got to have a captain of the boat. So it limits some of the things they can do, but he does not let that deter him. Coach Bennett is well known in the fishing world in East Alabama, so he's all the time coming up with a boat and a captain for his kids to go. If they want to fish, he's going to figure out a way. So then with our esports, Coach Chamberlain has been our coach, and we're transitioning this year to a new coach that will make that decision in the coming weeks who that will be. But last year, our esports in the fall season and the spring season.
Right.
Fall, several of our students made the state playoffs. In the spring, And the NBA 2K, two of our student athletes made it to the state finals.
Oh, nice.
And got beat on. Kids shot the ball with 2 seconds to go, and it went in to win. And we, you know, the neat thing about that, we set up a watch party in the media center. So they were in one of our classrooms playing, and it was like we were in our gym watching a basketball game. That's how real it was. I had to catch myself sometimes yelling out instructions, and what am I doing? Why am I looking at that screen? They can't hear me. But our esports program has come a long way. And the beauty of that is you can either play here at school, or if you've got the good enough Wi-Fi at your house, play in the comfort of your home.
Why not?
I mean, it's great. We look for that sport to keep growing. Maybe branch out to the middle school and get some interest over there to help build the program at the high school. All right.
Let's move on to winter sports. We're going to start with boys basketball. They are led by their head coach, Ronnie Battle. He's a former point guard at the University of Auburn. I've gotten to know Coach Battle because after I was done the PA announcing for football, well, I definitely was very interested in doing basketball. I had a conversation with him. He allowed me to be the public address announcer for basketball, which I feel is a lost art. A lot of these high schools in this area do not have a PA announcer for basketball. I know Carver does with Art Thomas, and I know I called some for Shaw, but that was a lot of fun. I do believe in what Coach Battle has really built up, and Russell County basketball team not only made the playoffs, they won a playoff game, got to the second round of the 6A AHSAA playoffs. And the game of the year, I just want to say this, Coach, that game of the year between Russell County and Central, we had it on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I know we were talking about it. You lost by 1 point, but it was such an incredible game against a team that, you know, was nationally ranked, that state ranked in 7A. But talk about what Coach Battle has built at Russell County and what you see as far as Russell County basketball, especially that game day atmosphere, the upgrade of the gymnasium that I witnessed when I was PA announcer here, and just building up just a great product. You know, you talk about what Coach Battle has done. Just elaborate a little bit on what he has built up here at the county.
Well, you know, Coach Battle also played here at Russell County.
That's right. We did talk about it.
And, you know, so for him to be our head coach and getting to witness our gym being completely remodeled and brought back to new life, I would imagine was exciting for him. Coach Battle is a coach that gets a lot out of his players in the game. And those guys, they don't quit. Say them, they could be down double digits, and before the fourth quarter is over, we know the last minute of the game, they're right there in it. His players do not quit. He gets the most out of all of his players, not just the top 5, but everyone. Everyone on his bench has something they're good at. And it's like he knows when to put them in to get their most for that moment. He's subject to play 10 kids in a game. So that's unheard of for most high school coaches. You know, like you said, we won the area last year. Then we won the sub-region game that we hosted against a very good McGill-Tulane.
That's right.
So then we played the regionals in Montgomery, and I mean, within 2-3 minutes, we were down 12, 14 points. But midway through the fourth quarter, we were right there. We were in it, and the other team was panicking because they were on cruise mode and thought it was over.
Right.
But Coach Battle's kids, they don't quit, and that's what I like about our boys basketball team. Is from start to finish, they battle. They're in the game no matter what the scoreboard is, and they're gunning for that win every game.
I tell you what, I love just seeing the development of the players. When I was the PA announcer, 3 seasons ago, I got the opportunity to witness the JV team coming up. And you got players like Malachi Dix, TJ Upshaw, Timothy Littleton. He's really developed his own son, Ronnie Battle, on his team. And I really am looking forward to seeing what Russell County basketball is going to do for this upcoming season. But let's talk about the girls basketball team, because you have a coach that came up from the middle school, Coach Ricky Jones. He's entering his 2nd season as the girls basketball coach. One thing I noticed about his team, even though they only won 5 games last year, he had a very young team. His 2 top scorers, a freshman and an 8th grader. Mackenzie Word averaged 14 points a game. I mean, we expect that they're just going to continue to develop. And it's tough when you're coming in through the system. I mean, the good thing about, some of these players that he's coached at the middle school level, and that they pretty much know what the expectations is for his system. Talk about what Coach Jones means as far as the girls basketball team. I mean, they set the tone. If you want to see a basketball game at Russell County, they're featured before the boys team. And then they do have some promising players and this upcoming region. Just talk about what Coach Jones and the expectations for this upcoming season.
Well, the thing about our girls basketball team for this year, we may have one person that's above a sophomore. But the beauty of Coach Jones is he graduated from Russell County High School, and it means a lot to him to grow the program.
Absolutely.
And I went and watched them, where they only won 5 games last season. I went and watched them in Troy, Alabama, later the summer, and playing teams from Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. They went 4-2. Played some very good teams. So they're really growing, and we've talked to the players about and let's just keep growing. Right. And we're juniors and seniors. Let's look at the results that today is building. And that's hard for an 8th grader or 9th grader. Everybody wants instant gratification to get them to focus on the future. And Coach Jones is doing a great job of that.
All right, let's talk about wrestling, also a sport in the winter. You've got a boys wrestling team and a girls wrestling team. Who is the coach, and what are some of the things they've accomplished this past season, and really what are some of the important events to look forward to for this upcoming season?
So Coach Chamberlain is our head wrestling coach.
Well, I've gotten to know Coach Chamberlain. He's a great guy. He's an assistant for the football team. He really builds up that wrestling program. Anytime there's a big match, he's posted on social media.
Yeah, we had seven females that qualified for state this year.
That's incredible.
One made it to the final 6. Others won their first match at a state level. But the beauty of that is there was 2 seniors, and the rest were 7th and 8th graders. So that program's going to continue to get better. Our boys, they missed the state by 1 match. It got down to us and another school, and whoever won the last match was the one that's going to qualify for the state. And they won that match, but we were right there. So I Coach Chamberlain, the work that he puts in with our program, he and some other folks are starting a youth program that's going to help the younger kids get into wrestling. So it's going to build his program. We've started a middle school wrestling program here at Russell County. So we've already seen benefits from that. So we're excited about wrestling this year and what they're going to do.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and take another break. When we come back, we still got to talk about the spring sports. I'm excited because we got some sports that's near and dear to my heart. Don't go anywhere. This is the state of the program, sitting down with the athletics director here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live.
Are you ready to save big on a new Chevrolet?
Make your way to Glenn Smith Chevrolet. Choose America's #1 compact SUV, the Chevy Equinox, discounted up to $6,500 off. The powerful Chevy Silverados are up to $13,750 off. And the big Chevy Silverado 2500 HDs are discounted up to $6,000 off. Glenn Smith Chevrolet in Opelika.
Get ready to smile.
Welcome back to Sitting Down with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs, here with AD Coach Larry Knox of Russell County. We still got to talk about the spring sports, but there's one sport that we left off in the fall, and that's cross country. Just talk about who the cross country coach is, and where's some locations where they have cross country meets.
So Coach Moats is our cross country head coach. They go to Auburn, they go to Beauregard for the state tournament. Before I got here, never knew this city existed, but Danville, Alabama. It's about 3.5, 4 hours north of us, in between Birmingham and Huntsville, the home of Jesse Owens State Park.
Nice.
But not a hotel within 45 minutes. So you have to book early to get a hotel room even remotely close. But our cross country program has about 10 kids involved in it, and 8 of them made the state finals last year. So we're proud of that, and looking forward to adding numbers and increase the number of students going to state.
And one sport that is in the spring that is similar to cross country is track and field. I witnessed where they built the track around the football stadium. And I mean, you have so many events when you can build a track around, but you also have the discus, the shot put. Who is the track and field coach? And do you have some of the football players that run track as well? Or how does the track and field team coincide with some of the other sports, and what are some of the accomplishments that the track and field team has done?
Well, this Coach Moats, again, is our track and field coach, along with our middle school head coach, Coach Spiess. So the beauty of the school district putting the new track around our football field is our superintendent and the school board has purchased brand new track equipment. So for the first time next school year, in the spring, we're going to host a high school track event and a middle school track event, so that our students can, have an event here at their school and not always having to travel.
Right.
Last year, a lot of our football players joined our boys track program, and several of them made the state playoffs for track in Gulf Shores. Our girls program finished 11th overall in the 6A in Gulf Shores. We had a student that come in second in the long jump and the 200-meter, female student. So our track program is moving along in the direction that we all want it to go. And by the addition of all this new track equipment that our school system has purchased, you're going to see the growth of that program over the next 2 to 4 years.
And another program in the spring is both soccer teams. We know that soccer is big here in this area, especially with the 3 outdoor teams, semi-pro teams. We have the indoor team. But I've seen success from the soccer programs. I actually called the playoff game 2 years ago for the girls soccer team that made the second round of the playoffs. But let's start with the boys soccer program. Who's the soccer coach, and what are some of the things to look forward to for this upcoming soccer season?
Well, Coach Cardwell is our boys soccer coach, and this is his second season as the head coach. No, I'm sorry, the boys is Coach Empong. This will be his second season with the program. So stability growing in that program as well. They had a lot of growth through the end of the season. We played Pike Road here, who made the state soccer, and they beat us pretty good. But when we played them at the end of the season at their place, the score was 2-1. So we saw a lot of growth in our boys soccer program and didn't lose a lot of players. So we're looking for even more growth for next year.
Right. And in the AHSAA, they play softball in the spring. You got a softball coach who's got a lot of accolades. Talk about just the job that Coach Webb has done, played at Troy. And really, I remember the story you told me on last year's episode where we did this, where she had a story on how to buy into the program, and just talk about like what Coach Webb has done and what she has meant for the softball program here at Russell County.
Well, our softball program has really, really grown in the 2 years that she's been the head coach. I got the privilege of introducing her as the head coach shortly after I arrived here at Russell County. And I remember in this auditorium that some of the players come up to me and said, so why should we buy into her being our coach? And I just simply asked them to Google Katie Webb, Troy University, and then come back to me in a day or so and let me know if they thought she was worthy of them buying in.
They were convinced, right?
They were convinced, and her first year, they win 7 games and hadn't won a game in 5 years.
Wow.
So the next off season, she had 67 girls come out for softball. So that was just absolutely unbelievable. So we've seen growth in that program. The beauty about going into this season through some new teacher hires over at our middle school with Dr. Parker and here at the high school with Miss King, we now will have a full coaching staff for our softball program. So now she can split the teams up. She can split them up doing different drills with different coaches, and they're going to get better practice than what they've been able to get. But with her being limited on number of coaches over 2 years, it's been just unbelievable, the turnaround that we've experienced in that program.
And Coach, we're finally going to talk about the sport that Russell County, in my opinion, is known for, and that's baseball. Won a state championship in 2005. The Rasmus brothers, Corey Rasmus and Colby Rasmus, both went to the major leagues. And they were part of that Phoenix City Little League team that went to the Little League World Series and lost in the championship, but they represented and won the American Little League Championship. But when you talk about just the growth of the baseball program, just trying to build a program, and I know that some of the challenges that the baseball program has faced is 4 coaches in the last 4 years. I mean, we know that what Coach Tony Rasmus has built at this program, and to go from an interim coach in 2022, Coach Tony Dimitri, who left after 1 season, but I mean, he took the Russell County, or took the Harris County position. But now you have a new coach entering his 2nd season, Coach Danny Danielson, who not only played here at Russell County, he was a freshman when Russell County won the state championship in 2005, was a pitcher in the minor leagues for the Los Angeles Dodgers organization. And in his first season, they were, by the way, on the doorstep of the playoffs under Coach Dimitri. They were on the doorstep of the playoffs last season. Great players. We talked about Hojo Dean. I remember this player as a freshman, and I knew he was going to be somebody special, just a talented shortstop. You also have players like Seth Erickson. I mean, we had the privilege of interviewing Coach Danielson during our high school baseball media days, and Erickson was one of those players that, and also Dean, but they talked about like building something special here at Russell County. You have top-notch facilities. I mean, I didn't even mention the softball facility, which is right over here, right next to the baseball stadium. And just that support for Russell County baseball, because you know where Russell County baseball could go, because you've seen them at the highest level. What is it going to take for kids that play baseball in the Phoenix City Little Leagues or to buy into what Coach Danielson is selling in his 2nd year coming up for this upcoming season?
Well, the beauty is we have about 7 or 8 seniors that stuck around through all the changes.
Oh, they're prime ready to do something special.
They've been our leaders the last 3 years. Then we had a very good, this current season, 9th grade class mixed in with our sophomores. So we're excited about next year. What Coach Danielson has brought to Russell County baseball is the fact that everyone knows that he was part of the past. When we won the state championship in 2005. But they also know he wants to create his own legacy.
Absolutely.
For Russell County baseball. And he's got great parent support. The players are bought in. This current season, we'll have a full JV team, a full middle school team. So we've got coaches that are there to support him. So it's moving in the right direction. And Coach Danielson it's weight room, it's throwing program. It's the 12 months out of the year that everybody else is doing that, you have to do or get right behind. And he's not afraid to get in there and do it and make sure that our guys are getting what they deserve. We've got 3 players right now, maybe 4, that have college offers in our baseball program out of our senior class, and we expect several more to get offers. So we're excited about baseball and where it's going, and having Coach Danielson and his staff lead the charge.
Yeah, one thing about baseball here at Russell County, tremendous fan support. We will try to be here for Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I know we live streamed a lot of baseball games. We did a live stream a Russell County baseball game up at Harris County. Rick Beach from Kutsu Sports did a phenomenal job with that. But I really am impressed with what Coach Danielson has been building up here, and I can't wait for year 2. He also has an assistant coach on his staff who is really a colleague of ours, a friend of ours, Michael Long Jr., who played here at Russell County. He was the former Carver head baseball coach. He also coached under Coach Steve Smith with the Columbus Chattanoogs. And I think just getting that experience and the way he develops players, I think that is a fantastic addition to Coach Danielson's staff.
Yeah, and it's just part of the process that, Ms. King, Dr. Parker, and myself have, tried to figure out, best fits for our athletic programs. Right. All of our head coaches, they get a whole lot of say in who's on their staff. The principals have the final say because they have to hire the person. So we've done a good job administratively in helping support all of our programs and getting coaches that they feel good around, that they can trust, and they know will help them build what they're trying to do here at Russell County.
Well, Coach, this has been fun. I remember it was a year ago we sat in the same auditorium and did a state of the programs, right when Georgia Alabama Sports Live was getting off the ground. I'm looking forward to this upcoming season. Before we close this portion, just what's your message to people who want to support Russell County athletics, to people who want to be boosters, that want to try to come to the game and sponsor games and give their support?
Well, like I said earlier, we appreciate all of our sponsors that support Russell County athletics. And if you're interested in being a sponsor at Russell County athletics, you can contact me, Larry Knox, the athletic director. My email is knoxl@russellcsd.net, or you can call the school and they will get you in touch with me. We have a lot of sponsors that are just, if there's something we need, then we know who we can call, and we're always looking for more. We want to make sure that our student athletes have the best experience that they can, not only in the classroom, but on the athletic court, field, whatever surface they play on while they're here in high school.
Well, I appreciate you, Coach. Another great interview here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. This is Sitting Down with an Athletics Director, State of the Programs here at Russell County. And don't forget that we've got more schools coming up this week to include Hardaway, Kendrick, Harris County. We're even going to talk to the AD of Muskogee County Schools, Coach Jeff Battles. I want to thank Chris Gates, our fine producer. Really, without his expertise and knowledge, really none of this would have been possible. So for Thrift Manager, Chris Gates, I'm Richard Holdridge saying so long here from Russell County. Have a